So welcome guys to the first ever Ballin podcast. First we're going to talk about the NFL. So let's get straight into it, guys. So for some NFL news, first Le'Veon Bell plans to return to the Steelers during week 7. He said this Monday evening or during the afternoon. And what I think about this really is I think he's going to be traded to a different team because I think the Steelers have to get rid of him and they dealt enough with him already. So they have to understand that because he's caused them so much problems, he's probably going to cause more in the future, and it's not worth taking him as a risk and just trading him for another player that you could get that will be as good or just about as good probably. And Le'Veon Bell shouldn't have started this in the first place as he got himself in kind of a buckle here, I think. But Le'Veon Bell, I think, ruined part of his career because of what he did. If he comes back and plays better and goes to a correct team that he'll play good for, he might have a returning to his own self moment. But we don't know that yet, so we'll see what happens with Le'Veon Bell. So before we move on, guys, thank you for coming to my podcast, as we'll be talking about NFL news, MLB, and NBA every Sunday of every week. So please stop by. It will be live every other time that we have a podcast, and it will be face-to-face and not just audio. So, there's not much more going on with Le'Veon Bell, but we're about to move on to the next things coming up pretty soon. But the Steelers aren't looking that good out there either. They're doing okay, so they're not doing that bad without him. He's a missing part that they miss, of course. If he was there, they would do way better than they are doing now. But we will see when it comes time what actually happens with Le'Veon Bell. And up next, we're going to be talking about Reid, as he signed with the Panthers on a conference on Monday, and he is continuing to talk to Colin Kaepernick about social justice, as he said in the Panthers press conference Monday evening. So, what I think about this is, first we're going to be talking about Colin Kaepernick a little bit into this also. But we'll start off by saying Reid and Colin Kaepernick both kneeled down. They were both on the 49ers, just like you guys know. Reid had his time to come back. Colin Kaepernick does not, because he is the first one who starts it. But that shouldn't matter in the first place, as Reid also did something that Colin Kaepernick did. What I'm trying to get to, guys, is Reid did come back to the league. So I feel like Colin Kaepernick should get a chance to come back also, even though I did not approve of what he did. It disgraced our country and all that stuff. As they also met up on a plane, as you saw that picture that's been going around, maybe some of you guys. There's been a picture of them talking together on a plane. There's been a lot of people wearing Colin Kaepernick shirts in different sports, as LeBron James did, Reid, and a bunch of others also did. But Reid has a chance to do better on the Panthers, as he has a one-in-lifetime chance to come back to the league that he left and that he probably thought he would never come back in the first place. But, yeah, and let's hope that he doesn't start kneeling ever again and that he moves on from his past and is ready to play for his new team and help his team out, making it to the playoffs, because the Panthers need some help too right now, as they're not doing that good at all. They're doing okay, just like the Steelers, but they could be doing better, as always. But we'll now move on to the predictions on the Cowboys season. What I think about the Cowboys season and what's going to happen. So first of all, it has to do with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, most of all. So Dak Prescott has been doing not so good lately. He had way higher hopes than going to the season than he has been playing. As Ezekiel Elliott is basically carrying the team a little bit more than Dak Prescott is. But the Cowboys don't look at themselves out there, not on offensive end or defense. So I think this offseason they're going to have to do a lot of work to get some draft picks, get some new players, trade, to get their defensive line better, and that will make the team more improved next season. I don't think they'll make it to the playoffs this season, and I feel like their season is basically over already, as they had higher hopes than ever, and they did not show that so far in this week 5 of the season. There's still 7 more weeks to go, but I don't think there's enough time for them to improve to make it to that point. So now let's move on to the fourth topic that we have for NFL news, which is Tom Brady's last year. If I think it's going to be his last year or not. So I think that this is not going to be Tom Brady's. I think it's going to be Tom Brady's last year, actually, guys. As he just accomplished the other night his 500th touchdown pass ever, which is a big accomplishment. And he's done so much in this league already. They're not looking as good as they have last year or even the past. Edelman's come back, so we don't really know how they're going to do with Edelman on the team now, if he's going to help them improve a lot. But Gronk's has some injuries too, and things like that, so we never know what's actually going to happen. So moving on to Gronk a little bit now. Gronk's had some major injuries. He's been in the league for between 8 or 10 years now, I feel like. 6 years maybe, I don't know really. But Gronk's had some major injuries, a lot of major injuries, and I feel like his NFL career is going to be over in the next 3 to 4 years because of this. And he's been not that bad. He's been playing good, but with all these injuries knocking him down every time, eventually he has to give up and move on. And he's being paid quite a lot also. So he's not going to have any deal with homelessness or whatever anyways. So I feel like it's going to be time for him to retire very soon. And the Patriots are going to have a not a good time when Tom Brady, Gronk leaves. And they're only left with Tom Brady. Only left with Edelman. And that's really it. Moving on to the power rankings of Week 5. First, I have the Rams with a 4-0 record. Second, I have the Kansas City Chiefs with a 4-1 record. A 4-0 record, Number 3 is the Saints with 3-1 record also. Number 4 is the Jaguars with a 3-1 record. Number 5 is the Panthers with a 2-1 record. Number 6 is the Patriots with a 2-1 record. Number 7, I have the Packers with a 2-1 record as they tied their first game. 8th was the Ravens with a 3-1 record. And number 9, I have the Bengals at a 3-1 record. In the 10th and last place, I have the Bears with a 3-1 record. And the top 3 worst teams so far in Week 5. Third is the Jets with a 1-3 record. Number 2 is the Bills with a 1-3 record also. And number 1, I have the Cardinals with a 0-4 record. So those are the NFL power rankings of Week 5. The Rams have a lot going good for them. Cardinals don't. That's what we got so far with these power rankings. Let's hope that they change a lot and move places, move up and down. Well, let's hope the Patriots go down, as I gotta say I hate the Patriots, and I am living in New England also. but I am a diehard hate Patriots fan to let you guys know for the future of the NFL power rankings. So let's hope they go down and we'll see what happens. There's not much more about the power rankings this week, so now we'll move on to the weekly scores. Monday, Denver played Kansas, and Kansas ended up winning 27-23, as I would think the Denver would win by 4 to 7 points, but that did not happen. Tuesday, the Colts and Patriots played. The Patriots won 38-24, and I was also a surprise, as I said the Colts were going to win by 7 or between 7 or 10 points above the Patriots. Now looking forward to this Sunday, which is today. Later on today, there's some games going on now. The Rams versus Seahawks at 4:25 p.m. The Jaguars versus Chiefs at 1 o'clock p.m. And we have the Dolphins versus Bengals at 1 o'clock p.m. also. Now real quickly for injury reports, we have Bobby McCain from the Dolphins out 2 to 3 weeks with a knee injury. We have Sam Acko from the Bears out for the season with a torn pectoral. We have O.J. Howard from the Buccaneers with the MCL out 4 weeks. And Terrence Mitchell from the Browns possibly out for the season with a 4-out injury. Okay, what's up guys? We are back again with the MLB now. So there's not much to say in this part of the podcast, but we have some things to go over in the MLB as the playoffs have started. The wild card games have passed. So Sunday, the Brewers claimed the first NL Central title since 2011 against the Cubs. Tuesday, Milwaukee played versus Chicago Cubs, and Milwaukee won 3-1. Monday, Dodgers versus Colorado. Dodgers won versus Colorado 5-2. Monday, Miami versus Pittsburgh. That game was canceled. And Tuesday, Colorado versus Cubs. Colorado won versus the Cubs 2-1. Wednesday, the Yankees versus Oakland. The Yankees won versus Oakland 7-2, I mean. Thursday, the Brewers versus the Rockies. The Brewers won 3-2. Thursday, Dodgers versus A's. The Dodgers won 6-0. Astros versus Indians on Friday. Astros won 7-2. Friday, the Brewers played versus the Rockies, and the Brewers won 4-0. And Friday, the Red Sox versus the Yankees played, and the score was 5-4. And Friday, the Dodgers versus Braves. The Dodgers won versus the Braves, 5-0. Moving on to a little bit of NBA. There's not a lot of MLB news actually going on at all. The only thing that we really have is the attendance was down by 4% this year. I don't actually know a reason why that would be. I don't know if there's been anything actually going on or anything, but I don't understand the reason for the attendance being down. If any of you could tell me, please say in the comments below, because I would love to know, guys. So keep me updated if there's a few things I don't know, because I don't pay attention to as much as the NFL or MLB as I do to basketball. So moving, there's not much more to say about the MLB. The games that I'm most looking forward in the series are the Red Sox and Yankees, as that's a series that everyone is probably looking for. I feel like it's going to come down to the last game to see who wins, as it probably will, because they're rivals and their teams are pretty much equal, as if they are fully healthy, both teams. And both teams have been pretty healthy equally, so I feel like that's what's going to happen with that series. Dodgers are going to win versus A's easily. They're going to lose the next round. That's what I think about the Dodgers. And that's all that's going on, really. Astros and Indians. Astros are going to beat that series quickly. Astros, I don't think will make it to the World Series, but they're going to make a fight going to it. So now we have the injury report for the MLB. So we only have 2 players that did get injured. Didi Gregorius from the Yankees may miss the rest of the season with a wrist injury. He ended up coming back versus Red Sox and Yankees, so that is off the list. And Brandon Bett from the Giants, season-ending knee surgery. Okay, now it is time to get into my favorite topic, which will be the longest segment of every podcast, which will be the NBA. As we have a lot to talk about with the NBA also. Sunday preseason, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There was all games every day. First, going over some news with the NBA. J.R. Smith pays fan $600 for throwing phone in construction site. What I think about that is disrespectful. J.R. Smith has been causing a lot of trouble. The Cavs will get rid of him eventually if they don't want to deal with his tantrums anymore. And DeMarcus Cousins signed a multi-year deal with Puma. And Nike has a 10-day warning to meet the offer. Nike hasn't made an offer yet, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day. But I feel like DeMarcus Cousins will end up with Puma, as Puma released their basketball series last year. Rozier from the Celtics' dad will watch him play in the preseason for the first time yesterday, so that was pretty nice for Rozier to see, as he's been playing for a while. He's been doing real good out there, and this is the first time his dad is watching him, so let's see if he has a good game or not. We'll see at the end of the day, end of yesterday. The Lakers tickets demand skyrocketed after LeBron's signing. I feel like this is good for the league. To me personally, this isn't good because I hate LeBron, hate the Lakers, hate everything that's going on over there. But this is good for the league, so I would say this is a positive because I want everything positive to do with the league to improve and do better every single year. And there's been a report that Anthony Davis has talked to Kyrie about joining the Celtics. Now, we're going to spend a little time talking about this because this is the biggest news of the week, as Kyrie Irving has said this week that he wants to rejoin the Celtics next year. If many people say that this isn't going to happen because there's many teams that are going to offer him a lot of money also. So we'll see what happens next couple weeks or whatever. 2 weeks till the regular season starts, October 16th. So Sunday, the Spurs played versus Miami. They won. The Spurs won. Boston played the Charlotte Hornets. Boston won 115 to 112. The Bulls played the Pelicans 128 to 116. The Bulls won. The Nuggets played versus the Lakers, and the Nuggets won 124 to 107. Monday, the preseason. The first game was the 76ers and Magic, and the score was 120 to 114. The Knicks won versus the Wizards 124 to 121. The Hawks won versus the Pelicans 116 to 102. The Kings won versus the Suns. The Hornets won versus the Heat. The Cavs won versus the Celtics. The Rockets won versus the Grizzlies. The Jazz won versus the Raptors. And the Nuggets won versus the Lakers on Tuesday. Wednesday, the Knicks won versus the Nets. The Pistons won versus the Thunder. The Bucks won versus the Bulls. And the Clippers won versus the Wolves. Thursday, there was only 2 games. Pacers won versus the Rockets, and 2, the Lakers won versus the Kings, 128 to 123. Friday, there were 8 games. First game, 76ers won versus the Mavs. The Wizards won versus the Heat. The Knicks won over the Pelicans. The Thunder won versus the Wolves. The Grizzlies won versus the Atlanta Hawks. The Spurs won versus the Pistons. The Trailblazers won versus the Suns, and the Warriors won versus the Kings. So, lastly, we will go over the injuries, and before that, we'll go over the top performances and what I'm surprised about so far. So, I was surprised with, first of all, how Zach LaVine has played for the Bulls. Definitely, he's been doing real good out there. He had 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists versus the Pelicans. Kevin Knox looks real good out there for the Knicks with 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists in that game. Chris Paul looks good. A lot of people look good so far in the preseason. We'll see what happens in the regular season, as always. Enes Kanter looks better than ever. Andre Drummond looks better than ever. TJ Leaf had a surprising game with 13 points and 12 rebounds. And everyone else looks average. So that's what's been happening on there. Moving on real quick to the basketball injury report. First, we have Jared Bayless from the 76ers with an ankle sprain. He will be out 3 to 4 weeks. 2, we have Wilson Chandler from the 76ers also with a hamstring. He will be out 2 to 3 weeks. Lauri Markkanen from the Bulls. He has an elbow injury. Will be out 6 to 8 weeks. Harrison Barnes from the Mavericks has a hamstring, likely to miss the whole season. Bogdan Bogdanovic from the Kings, has a left knee. He will be out 4 to 6 weeks, and Devin Booker from the Suns has a hand surgery for 6 weeks. Okay, now back to some last things that we have to go over before the conclusion of the podcast. First off, we're going to do verses. We have James Harden and Giannis, who will have the better season. Right away, I'm going to say Giannis will have the better season than Harden. Harden got MVP last year. He will not go for MVP again this year. He will have some good numbers, 25 points. I'm saying that he's going to average this year. But Giannis is going to have a breakout year. Almost close, I say 27, 26 points, averaging double digits in rebounds and getting anywhere from 5 to 7 assists a game. And he will be an MVP candidate this year, as many others will be also. But that is the Harden versus Giannis series. And Giannis, Bucks are going to have a real good year this year. Questions of the day. So these are for you to answer, guys. So please comment below the answers to these. How many losses do you think the Rams will get this year for the NFL? Who will be going to the World Series this year for the MLB? Who will be MVP this year for the NBA? How will the Cavs do this year? And how will Zach LaVine do this year? So thank you to Getty Image. Thank you to iMovie, of course. Thank you to everyone who's made this podcast possible. So thank you for making this possible, as I hope this becomes a big thing for my channel to grow. And these will improve as I go on, guys. So don't forget, this is my uploading schedule this week. We have Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and next Sunday. Thanks, guys. See you next time.